Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk to you about why you should practice being more humble. Now, it's actually pretty easy to be more humble once you start realizing your place in the world. And to put it really crudely, you ain't shit. Now, I'm not saying that to discourage you. It's just, in the grand scheme of things, most of us are not going to become household names. We're not going to become famous and widely known by the world. That's incredibly rare. I mean, think about this. There are nearly 8 billion people on the planet right now. Out of that 8 billion, how many people are really well known? So much so that they may even be called a household name. There's probably less than 0.0001% of the total world population who are actually considered household names. That's a really, really low number. So the odds of it happening to me or to you are really low. Now, I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm just saying it to show you why we should be humble. Because how could you be arrogant when you realize that the vast majority of people are not going to know you and they're not going to remember you? So if you're arrogant, what for? Nobody even knows you, and you're going to be forgotten. But I'm not, again, saying this to discourage you. Let me just give you a quick caveat here to show you what I mean, because I don't want any of you becoming nihilistic by believing this. So the point here, what matters more is how many people you impact who know you. That's what gives your life meaning. So don't ever think that your life has no value just because you're not going to become well known and you're not going to be remembered in the pages of history. That doesn't mean anything. What matters is how you impact the people who know you, your friends, your family, your romantic partners. That's what matters. So focus on that. Do not become nihilistic by thinking that you don't matter in the world, because you do. But you matter to the people who actually know you. Because people who don't know you, how could they care about you if they don't know you? If they aren't aware of your existence. So focus on the people who are in your immediate world. Like I'm focusing on you guys through the medium of my phone recording this video. This just allows me to impact more people because it's something that I care about. But anyway, that's just a caveat because I don't want any of you becoming nihilistic. Now back to being humble. So practicing being humble will make your life better. Take it from me. When I was younger and going through school, I became pretty arrogant from probably around late elementary school through high school. And this was because, as some of you may have known, I was emotionally bullied when I was a kid. And because all my bullies were taller and stronger than me, the only thing that I had that gave me an advantage over them, because we were always playing that comparison game, was my intelligence. My parents kind of urged and pushed my sister and I to get good grades. And we did. They incentivized us. They would reward us for getting good grades. And if we got bad grades, we got in trouble. So we were conditioned to perform well in school. And with that, we were called intelligent by the people who knew us. And I doubled down on that like crazy. I became arrogant because intelligence was the only way, the only defense mechanism I had to give me a leg up against my bullies. But it was a bad thing because it hurt my ability to connect with other people. I suddenly lost the ability to empathize with people who weren't as intelligent because I couldn't think what life was like for them because I was so focused on the way things were for me and how easy school was for me and all that sort of thing. Basically, being arrogant is really bad. It hurts your ability to connect with other people. And that's huge. I mean, think about what most of life is. Most of life is our ability to connect with other people. That pretty much will dictate the quality of life that you live. If you can't connect well with others, then odds are it's going to be very difficult for you to live a good life because you just can't get through life alone no matter how hard you try. Imagine some hermit living in a forest trying to start a business and be successful and be happy. It ain't going to happen. Now maybe he could be happy on his own, but odds are that loneliness and isolation is not going to lead to him being happy. So you do not want to allow yourself to ever become arrogant in any form. And the easiest way to become humble is just to remind yourself that, yeah, you're likely not going to become famous. You're likely not going to be well known by people. And even if you do end up famous somehow, you likely won't be remembered in the pages of history. And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up over that, and don't become nihilistic over it. Just remind yourself that all that matters is the amount of people who know you that you're able to impact. But you want to be humble along the way. When you impact people, don't develop a big head thinking, oh, I just helped this person live a better life. I just helped them become smarter, or I helped them become stronger, or I helped them do this or that. Do not become arrogant. I can't stress that enough. You do not want to do anything that will hurt your ability to connect with other people. I mean, we've all seen the examples, maybe in movies or even in real life, where you see someone who is well off and who treats people who they believe are below them like shit, where they ignore homeless people and act like they don't exist, or where they treat waiters and waitresses and barbers like they don't matter, and they basically don't respect them and treat them like human beings. And the problem with that, well, obviously there are a ton of problems with it, but it basically dehumanizes everyone you encounter who you find beneath you. What does that end up doing? It turns you into a monster, because at that point, you've lost your humanity. You're not treating your fellow human beings like they're actually people. And that's not cool. We've all seen it. It destroys your ability to connect with other people because you need empathy to bridge that gap. So never allow yourself to become arrogant. Remind yourself to be humble and just think about your place in the world and how no matter how successful you get, it doesn't make you better than someone who's homeless or someone who's serving you food. It just means that you managed to live in such a way that you ended up in a different place. But there could be plenty of realms of life where that homeless person or that waiter could or is better off than you. In quite a lot of cases when it comes to rich people, you could have people who aren't as wealthy who are way stronger than them. So for one, they could get their ass beat by people who aren't as rich. But that's just one aspect. But basically, everybody you encounter knows something that you don't. And if you allow yourself to be arrogant, you're not going to learn as much in the world. And you're just not going to be well liked by people. Because humbleness is a very attractive thing. And when you're humble, you're able to bridge the gap with people to actually learn something from every single person you encounter. And that is a very special thing. Anyway, I feel like this video is getting too long, so I'm going to end it here. I hope that it helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!